Remind us that they are still waiting. Look back to
Yeah.
till Tisha B'Av. Good.
Are we back?
I think we went for 10 days. So Joseph, we are back in the season of weddings.
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem is right.
Very tough to get the kids married.
It's a tremendous pleasure. The girls, the only thing they think about is marriage. Talking about smart girls, not. But every time you talk to a class, in the back of the mind, they say, "Okay, it's not working." Okay. The idea, as you enter into marriage today, in the back of your mind, it's mind-boggling. 20 years ago, the animal didn't live.
What do they have at the back of their mind?
If it's not working, we'll divorce him. Try it again. Let's look a second in the Chukotai. We have a double parasha this week.
They think that way it will be much easier to get married. The problem is that they don't think this way. They say, "Oh, I have to find the ideal one." It has to work. Page 11.
Page 708. In Bechukotai, you see, this is the beginning of the parasha, the second parasha. In Bechukotai telechu. This is like the ideal, it ever happened or not. In Bechukotai telechu, but mitzvotai tishmeru v'asitam otam. If the Jewish people are really following the ways of Hashem, v'natati gishmechem beitam. It's going to rain on time. V'natna haaretz yevurah, and the land will give the produce. Right? Asadei temple, the fruit are going to grow. And you are going to dwell securely in your land. Pasuk Vav, v'natati shalom ba'aretz, u'shchavtem ve'en machrid. I mean, you realize this is, we'll see the Ramban in a minute. Ve'ishbati chaya ra'a min haaretz, the physical predators and animals. Okay, now, this is, we'll see the Ramban in a minute. Look a second now in Pasuk on the bottom, all the way on the bottom. Pasuk Yud Aleph. V'natati mishkani b'tochechem. How would you explain this Pasuk? And I'm going to look at the English translation on sanctuary among you. V'lo tiga'al nafshi etchem. Okay, so we're going to have the Beit HaMikdash. Hashem promises, I'm not going to אני השם אלוקיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם עבדים וישבור בוטות רוחכם והולך אתכם קומיות. Here there is a famous, very famous Ramban. The Ramban gives us the picture of the ideal Jewish people. And the biggest question that everyone is asking, but this is not our topic today, is how come the Torah doesn't openly say that there is life after death? I mean, if you want, you're telling me that my success is only the enemy is not attacking me and everyone's life comes to an end. If you believe there's life after, there are 7 answers to this question, but the biggest Rishonim, how come the Torah open doesn't
never mentions Tirat Mitim.
No. I mean, if there is any place, the place is here. The question is, what does it mean? V'halachti בתוככם, והייתי, look at this פסוק, הלכתי בתוככם, פסוק י"ב, see the English translation? I will walk among you. What does it mean? Think for the word. I'm going to walk. So look at the Rashi. Rashi says, פסוק י"ב, והלכתי בתוככם, Rashi does say, אטייל עמכם בגן עדן. So according to, otherwise the phrase והלכתי בתוככם is meaningless. Yeah? See, the English translation is very, very careful. I will walk among you. So let's see how the
The
Rambam.
question still stands because the parasha is not, the Torah is not saying it outright.
Okay, no, okay, but if you take it the way Rashi interprets it, Rashi says this is what the
That's what
parasha
I mean.
is saying. So we are going to see the Ramban, and then we're going to see a fascinating.
And something so important, it should be the Ferush on the.
I told you again, the Ibn Ezra and the Rambam, the last 900 years, and the commentators you never hear, the biggest of the biggest ever talk about it. The Or Chaim HaKadosh, the Sefer Ikarim, whatever you want. I mean, it's a question of hundreds of years. You take the Ramban, here we have no, the question is, the Torah in this week's parasha is telling us the reward, the real reward. When the Jewish people sincerely as a nation are behaving correct, how come it doesn't say to get the world to come after death? No one ever lived forever. So tell us that hundreds of years after you are in a box in the ground, life continues.
No, but can you just do the whole Rashi or just
Which Rashi?
the one you just
Yud-Bet,
talked about,
Yud-Bet.
Yud-Bet, please.
והתהלכתי בתוככם, look at the Rashi. אטייל עמכם בגן עדן כאחד מכם, ולא תהיו מזדעזעים ממני. What does it mean? I told you once for me it's an ideal story. That there was an ambulance of Hatzalah used to follow every Sunday. The Lubavitcher Rebbe used to go to the grave of his late father-in-law. He used to take his shoes and stand hours and hours and read hundreds of. Why did the ambulance follow him? Because he suffered once a heart attack there. So until unfortunately he did suffer a major stroke in the cemetery. Now here's an ambulance with two medics, and they call Hatzalah. They said, "Do you have any units around? You have the ambulance, and you cannot touch him." And this is Velois Dazer. If you're really in the presence of a big man, and I saw it many times, people freeze. I'm not talking about people that take pictures, and I have a picture of Chaim Kanievsky. Yes? Some people told me I wait months to prepare myself to come once to Chaim Kanievsky. Chaim Kanievsky was a good man, so he had people to take pictures like a give lollipops to little kids. So Rashi says, to be in the presence of Hashem, you feel comfortable.
He's going to be. Is that really what?
No, we
are going to be comfortable.
We would feel comfortable, which means you're going to have the inner awe, however.
And your whole lo tirani, and you won't be afraid. You won't be.
No, yachol lo tiruni. So perhaps you can feel very friendly. I remember most of us are going to visit people when we make sure the photographers are taking the picture. It's only a lollipop that they give us. Okay, sure. Okay. The presence of I had a friend that was learning, his father was learning the Yeshiva of the Chafetz Chaim. I remember Rabbi Wasserman, he saw Rabbi Wasserman coming to the house of the Chafetz Chaim. Would be me, I'll knock on the door and come in. Says Rabbi Wasserman knocked on the door and he started to shake.
Wow.
And he stopped and started to shake again. This is a Talmid Muvhak more than a son, because he knew the Chafetz Chaim was. All the people that came with the lollipops came and they got the lollipop and they went out. That's
Unfortunately, that's what we do, Rabbi.
No, it depends.
I don't want to
One of the
sound,
great-
but that's what
one
it
of
is.
the greatest scholars today is of Michal Zilber. He says, when he had a question to ask Rabbi Yashiv, he waited weeks and weeks and weeks. And he looked again, do I have to go ask him or not? This is a Rabbi Yashiv, the super scientist of the universe, center of the universe. How could I bother him? But for us, we go to restaurants, to the beach, and part of it is everyone. This is the Rashi that Gila is saying.
Interesting. When I'm very close to a rabbi, let's say a big rabbi, I feel like privileged and I feel more comfortable. Like
Good.
if I didn't know him, I would be maybe more scared. But when I know him, I feel like he
Okay,
knows me.
no,
and I love him.
because the fact that you know it takes away some of the inner fear.
Takes the edge away.
Takes away the edge away. Yeah. Okay, so look a second, guys. We have here 4 Ramban. Eli, look. Okay, Eli, look here. You have one. Okay, so I'll tell you which page because I have a different print.
Let's give
Come
you
on,
the,
Jack.
I'm going to
Stephen, if you can't do this, what I mean?
No, if you get used to it, the point is, David is always trying, eventually.
No, I feel bad. You made me feel very bad now because I used to go visit Rav David, and I felt like he was my best friend.
No, but this is fine.
My
Rashi is
best friend.
No, but this is the greatness of a guy like Rav David, yes. But this is his greatness. If you can relate to him.
More than I'm talking to you. More than I'm talking
Rabbi
to you.
Ozeri was a difference of trillion miles
I
between
know,
you
but
and
Shay,
the answer is we're normal
but
people.
it was so comfortable.
Mal is very big people.
No,
That's why.
big was big.
No, but he really used to see him. We used to go to pray with him in Mincha every day. He used
Not
to
every day.
have questions.
But the point is, he come. I'm telling you, he was coming to me. He came to my grandson's.
So you thought.
Okay, he came to my grandson's.
No,
And
but
it was in
this
Alan
was
Haber's house.
no, but this was the chesed. This was him.
He came to the bris. I'll never forget it. He came to the bris. Alan Haber doesn't drink. But David says to me, "No." I said, "What's that?" He says, "Where's the schnapps? Are we gonna do schnapps? Are we gonna do a chaim?" My son one day passed out. He went next door to my father's house and he got some scotch. And we bought a l'chaim.
Beautiful. You have to cherish this moment.
Many years ago, my late partner, Morris Shalom, came to me and asked, "You want to see Rabbi Moshe Feinstein tomorrow? You want to come?" I said, "Okay, yeah. What are you doing?" He said, "We're starting a yeshiva there. I want to get a better half of it." So I went, him and Alan Haber. And I didn't stand with them because I wasn't part, but I was observing. I saw they get a bit of chef from Rabbi Moshe Feinstein. A bit of
In the dining room? In his dining room?
No, we went to the shul.
We went to the yeshiva.
To the shul in the morning. I saw it. I was witness, but I wasn't understanding because it wasn't my place. But I saw them. I saw them get the bit of chef to start a tennis.
We went. I saw Rabbi Moshe once. Rabbi Spiegel took me in through the kitchen. And we took it for a better care. My son was running into the street at that time, so he was very young. And he didn't speak in English, Rabbi Moshe. But Moshe didn't speak English. I guess he spoke Hebrew or Yiddish. I don't know.
But you couldn't have a conversation. He understood.
Yeah, I just told Rabbi Spiegel. Rabbi Spiegel explained the problem. I guess maybe he did understand. I don't know. But it was a very moving situation. We met him in the FDR.
No, but this is the point. The point is, his greatest was it relates to everyone. Look at the Ramban that you have on page Kufnov Gimel. It's Pasuk. I'll tell you.
Rabbi, where are you?
Pasuk Yud Aleph. Perek Chavav. Pasuk Yud Aleph. It's a long Ramban. I'm reading Ve'atam Bazeh.
ונתתי משכני בתוככם, is that the right one?
Yeah, that's what we have.
Yeah, הטעם בזה, לא, והטעם בזה,
Next, look here. Yeah, right, you got it.
I'm sorry about where's the
We have Kufman page.
He's a Kuf Chazayim. No, what page? I'll get it.
Page Kumen Gimel.
Page Kufman Bet.
And which
Right in the
Which
middle.
was
If you are
Hatam
showing in
B'Zeh.
the middle of the
Middle of Yira.
pasuk, this is why והטעם בזה,
It's on the left side.
Joe, David Hashem to ask you to remind you. to
Yeah,
check
I'm gonna ask the
the
rabbi the
source.
question at the end of the I'm asking the rabbi at the end of the class.
והטעם בזה כי הברכות, אף על פי שהם ניסים, הם מן הניסים הנסתרים, שכל התורה מלאה מהם. This is the Rambam's opinion, many places in the Chumash. For instance, how old was Sarah when she gave birth? She was 90. And the Torah makes a very big deal. How old was the mother of Moshe?
She was very old.
She was
130.
130.
So why isn't
The
such-
Torah doesn't make any difference. Says the Rambam, this is
Most times
Nes Nistar, which means unless a prophet comes in advance, by Abraham, the angels come. This is called Nes Galui. But according to the Rambam, many things that are happening to us, as he says here, והטעם כי הברכות, אף על פי שהם ניסים, הם מן הניסים הנסתרים, שכל התורה מלאה מהם כאשר פירשת, והם אפילו ליחיד העובד. Listen to this. It's not only to us as a nation,
Individually.
כי כאשר יהיה האיש החסיד, שומר כל מצוות השם אלוקיו, when a righteous man is sincerely doing what he's supposed to do, ישמרהו הקל, in a holy he would be protected from diseases, from akarut, from akar is barren. Okay.
ממלא ימיו בטובה.
וימלא ימיו בטובה. אבל, אלו הברכות שבפרשה הזאת, says the promises in this week's parasha, הם כלליות באמנה to the individuals, this is for the Jewish people, והן, בהיות כל עמנו כולם צדיקים, when all the people are on a righteous level, ולכן יזכיר תמיד בכאן, בפסוק repeats, הארץ, ונתנה הארץ, the land is going to produce. וישבתם לבטח, you're going to dwell securely בארצכם, in your land. שלום, בארץ, מן הארץ, החרב לא תעבור בארצכם. וכבר ביארנו, כי כל אלה הברכות, כולם ניסים, אין בטבע, this is not normal, שיבואו הגשמים always on time. ויהיה השלום לנו מן האויבים, it's not normal that the Jewish people should have peace from our animals, from our enemies. ויבוא מורך בליבם, and they should run away to 100 מפני 5, 100 run away from 5 soldiers, but בעשותינו החוקים והמצוות. If you remember, guys, maybe some of you, the Sinai, when I was a kid, you see hundreds, thousands of shoes of Egyptians, soldiers running, and everyone made fun of this. They can teach us how to fight. Yeah, Hamas can teach us how to fight today. Said the Ramban, it's not normal that the majority is running away from the minority. ואף על פי שהם ניסים נסתרים, שעולם כמנהגו נוהג עמהם, השם runs the world through nature, אבל הם מתפרסמים מצד היותם תמיד לעולם בכל הארץ. But since they are constantly happening, I mean, remember we are used to hear it so many times, but the Greeks disappeared, the Romans disappeared, the little Jews are still around. All the biggest empires, it says, everyone realizing there is something special. You know, Mark Twain, the famous guy.
So it seems normal, but there's.
This is what he said, but he
appears
says
to be normal.
if you pay attention, you see that somehow.
Going back what it says on the Yachid, וימלא ימיו בטובה, does this sort of work with when Moshe asked Hashem told the Allah?
No, Moshe is asking Hashem, but very often we see the opposite.
Right, so he's saying a person
He's
if
saying it's possible for individuals to have
And possibly seems to be a guarantee. He's saying that if a person is 100%, then he'll only have good in his life.
Right. But the question is, Eli, again, what is 100%?
If Moshe wouldn't have had that question, I'm not getting by me or people specific, but Moshe wouldn't have that question if it was 100. If he didn't have that.
So what about the environment? The environment is damaged. It's difficult to have goodness in the middle of the bad
So
environment.
he continues, אבל הם מתפרסמים מצד היותם לעולם בכל הארץ. It isn't good what he says now. אם הצדיק האחד יחיה, if you see a righteous man having a good life relatively, ויסיר השם מחלה מקרבו, וימלא ימיו, יקרה גם זה קצת רשעים. Sometimes you can see a terrible person having a good relatively. individually. אבל שתהיה ארץ אחת כולה, אבן, ועם אחד תמיד, וגדת גשם בעיתו, the rain is going to come down in time. And בסובה, people are having an abundance, בשלווה and peace, health, might, כעניין, בעניין שאין כמוהו בכל העולם, יוודע לכל, כי מאת השם הייתה זאת. If you listen carefully to hundreds of Israeli בעלי תשובה, which we don't hear in our social because there are certain stations they exclude them, they say clearly, I know that God exists because I was in the war, I was in Gaza, I was in this. You don't hear it. But certain stations of Israel hear it non-stop. Nearby us, one of the teachers going back to the last 3 years. Twice he went to Israel to fight with the Israel. So I spoke to him once. He says, my friends and my unions that used to make fun of the religion today are totally different. Because we are not there to keep everything, but of course we realize that God is seeing miracles. They're seeing miracles. It's not only they see, they internalize it and it changes the life. We are talking about changing. We're saying. Would you say the Baalak Teshuvah movement today is stronger than ever in Israel? It's bigger because in 1967 and 73, it's the intelligent Americans, or thousands of educated American kids became rationalized. You were able to rationalize it. The actual Israelis, it's very difficult to do. Some of them, of course, do. Today, everyone is asking the question, what is going on? We have the tanks, we have the whatever. As me and you are too young, but I grew up and I read hundreds of books. The Jewish people are going to have a homeland, all the problems will be solved. I read Marx, I'm talking about the leaders of the Zionist movement in the 20s. No one ever mentioned the Arabs. They didn't exist. They were Bedouin. We are afraid from the Russians because of the pogroms. We are afraid from the Polacks. We are afraid of Arabs. The only problem we have is the Arabs. The answer is we have a Nassaniim. Regardless if it's Israel or if it's Ukraine or if it's...
There's a book published after that. Says the book title of the book is "The Peace to End All Peace."
Rabbi,
we have a war to end all wars.
In work. And they also, like, especially since October 7th till now, they have no religion, Jewish. And they're like, they'll be proud, like, oh, it's a miracle. Did you see what happened? It's a miracle. But they don't internalize that into.
He was actually very good.
How do I respond to that?
Okay.
I thought he answered it very well.
Like, it's hard. I can't preach to them. They don't even have any basis. What's the right response? Yeah, it's a miracle. What are you doing about it?
And he liked the crowd.
But not directly, indirectly. Everyone loves to tell this story. The story is that one of the great rabbis had after 67. Took a cab in Tel Aviv and the cab driver says to him, Rabbi, I have a good story. It's a famous story. Anyway, he says after he his first graduate in the army, he went to Africa. Israelis go to Taiwan. Anyway, they told him on a certain place, don't go on this path, it's very dangerous. Anyway, they went, and a huge snake, you imagine, fell on one of them. And I mean, think of the situation. And they tell him, the guy realized what a snake does. They told him say Shema Israel. He said Shema Israel and he recoiled. And the passenger says to the driver, "Chayar Ahu, my friend, became religious because of that."
What about
He
you?
says, "What about it happened to him?"
What else? No.
No, but this is the point. The point is that it's a difficult
I
task.
said, like,
Now look now, the
I don't
Ramban.
know how to answer. Yeah. I say, you
No,
don't
but
know
you
how
have
to
to, the
answer. What do you
Chokmah is
say?
that, say, how does it affect each one of us? Don't say, say, how does it affect each one of us? Okay, look now, V'aklal Bazeh, skip you have to look for it. By you now, it's in page Kuf Mem Dalet and the right column and the bottom, V'aklal. Yeah, you have it, you have to skip. Yeah. You have it on the right there. David, you have it?
Yeah.
You listen to this now. V'aklal Bazeh, remember, this Ramban doesn't apply to any of us. Barely applies.
That's it.
V'aklal Bazeh, the rule is, yeah, Joseph, you have it there? והכלל בזה, כי בהיות ישראל שלמים והם רבים.
I don't have Bazeh.
Yeah, we don't have
Yeah,
Bazeh. I'm
Bazeh.
missing a word,
Okay,
Bazeh.
fine,
Rabbi.
okay, no, it's a different print, but the Bazeh is not a major word.
No, but me and Joseph keep looking.
Oh, okay.
We keep looking for each
Okay,
word. That's what you should
והכלל,
be seeing at Jackie.
כי בהיות
I
ישראל
say yes.
שלמים והם רבים, לא יתנהג עניינם בטבע כלל. The ideal is the laws of nature. I mean, not the Rambam, this is a major piece that everyone deals with the Rambam. לא בגופם, ולא בארצם, ולא בכללם. The Ramban says in the ideal world, yes, nothing works in nature. Listen, כי יברך, nature doesn't affect. He says in a minute, don't go to a doctor. He says.
Wow.
Because basically, when we are sick, it's a message. Do what you have to do. But of course, it doesn't. What? Of course, it doesn't apply to us 1,000 years. Look what he said. Listen carefully. ויסיר כי יברך השם לחמם ומימם, we are very successful in our business, ויסיר מחלה מקרבם, אשר לא יצטרכו לרופא, you don't need it. ולהשתמר בדרך מדרכי הרפואות כלל, כמו שאמרו, כי אני השם רופאך. No, but it sounds like the Rabbi is. וכן, please listen, היו הצדיקים עושים בזמן הנבואה. In the time of prophecy, גם כי יקרה מעוון שיכלו, people got serious. לא ידרשו ברופאים, they didn't go to that. רק בנביאים, you go to the prophet. What does the prophet do? He doesn't put his hands on you and you take a picture and you give him 500. He tells you the reason why you have it is because so and so. Correct it. Everything. I mean, Kenyan Chizkiyahu here brings in Chizkiyahu, one of the best kings, Bechaloto. Be'amar HaKatul, the Rambam didn't invent it. The Rambam is quoting a pasuk. גם בחוליו לא דרש את השם כי ברופאים. Which means the pasuk is accusing him. You're very sick. Why did you go to the doctor? Yeah? ואילו היה הדבר הרופאים נהוג בהם, if every man on his level has to visit doctors, מה הטעם שיזכיר הרופאים? אין האשם רק בעבור שלא דרש השם. אבל הוא, אוקיי, אבל, which means he normally did not go. Once he went on his level, Hashem says to him, the prophet says, אבל הוא כאשר יאמר אדם, לא אכל פלוני מצה בחג המצות, כי אם חמץ. Yes? Which means, this was his only mistake that once. אבל, הדורש Hashem banavi, if you really do what you have to do, לא ידרוש ברופאים, there's no need to. ומה חלק לרופאים, it is? Debate to say רצון השם. Of course we need doctors, of course we need medicine. But certain people at that time on the level, that obviously God is talking to you. I mean, hear this, what he says, ומה חלק לרופאים, debate to say רצון השם. Why should the doctor enter? אחר שהבטיח וברך את לחמך ואת מימיך, Hashem promises that everything you do is going to be blessed. הסירות עם מחלה מקרבך, I'm removing all the diseases from you.
But he only talks about the Torah tells us he's going to remove diseases of the stream, right? Or he doesn't really say.
No. He's talking about this parasha. We just read it. הסירות עם מחלה מקרבך.
Or מחלה.
מחלה. וכן אמרו, he quotes now a Gemara.
What does it mean? I don't think in Ma'asehem Rak.
It says doctors, the only thing they do to you is don't take sugar, don't take salt, להזהיר ממנו לצוות עליו.
So I guess in his day, that's what.
וכך אמרו, כל 20 ותרת משנים במהלך רבה, for 22 years, at Rabbah, now the Ramban is jumping hundreds of years, to the time of the Talmud. Rabbah, Rav Yosef, אפילו אומנה לביתה לא קרה. For 22 years at Rabbah was the Rosh Yeshiva. Rav Yosef, a colleague, never called the doctor to his house. So again, doctors are needed, medicine is needed, we, and hundreds of years before us, we have to. But the level that we rely on the doctors depends on everyone's. I told you, Rabbi Belsky was the head of the old, he was the Rosh Yeshiva of Shiva Torah Vodah. He had a serious problem. They rushed him to Maimonides, and they discovered he needs a serious operation. Finally, he met already the surgeon tomorrow. Meantime, all the that's a lot of big shots said he's not the biggest in New York. We have in Colombia, Presbyterian. They came to the rabbi and they told him, listen, we already spoke to the other rabbi and the other doctor. So he says, I met already this doctor in Maimonides. And I told him, I trust him. If I'm moving to Colombia, I'm really embarrassed. I can't tell the rabbi, it's your life. I can't do it. He was operated and he was alive 6 years after that. Well, I have news for you. I would leave in a second. I said, it's me, and this is what else. He was at the level. He wasn't even a doctor, and the operation had to be done. But how far did we go? We think the doctor is not the doctor. The doctor is a shaliach to you. Sometimes
we're supposed to look for that quote unquote best doctor. Rabbi Diamond told it in some class I listened to from him. You're supposed to look for the best doctor. You shouldn't just trust in the person that may not be.
Because Rabbi Diamond is talking to us. No, but the rabbi is talking to us. We are regular people. Rabbi Belsky would have gone to begin with to Colombia. But he says when
you already committed.
He's the head of the department. Obviously, he's a specialist. So
it would be a bushat to him.
But the point is, Rabbi Belsky understood that had he known in the beginning, he would have gone to Colombia.
It's like he felt he did as much of his that he needed to do. And at the end of the day, whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
So now, after you hear all that, take the Gemara in front of you.
That's Rabbi Belsky, by the way, not us.
Take the Gemara.
Rabbi, also like today, if somebody says something happened, in our society, you can't tell them, oh, it happened because.
I know the worst.
It's impossible.
No one wants to hear it from others.
Right, from others. You have to internalize.
A very good friend of my wife. She's not, unfortunately not alive. When she discovered that she has cancer, she told my wife, I cut right away 50% of the Lashon Hara.
How about when?
No, but she was very smart. She didn't say, I'm not speaking. 50 means the juicy, the good stuff.
The good stuff.
So, Rabbi,
Yes.
when I had to make a decision because there was two alternatives, I called Isaac. He called Chacham Beracha in Israel.
Yeah.
And I didn't posek. So, but he was very practical. He asked me to find out the percentages, the odds, whatever, and then he helped. Whatever, we made the decision. But it wasn't based on, it was based on, he still wanted me to find out the information and the statistics before I made the decision.
Of course.
So far, so good.
Baruch Hashem.
$120.
Listen, that just asking a Gedolei Hador, that's in and of itself help.
No, but the chokhmah is to realize we're human. And among us, we have different types of people, and some need lollipops, some need.
I told you also called Rabbi Diamond when they had somebody on life support. They wanted to give me their liver. So I called Rabbi Diamond to find out if I could do it and halacha and whatever. He told me it was a gift from Hashem if I got the liver.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Refuah shlema.
Thank you.
Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Look a second here. In the Gemara in Pesachim, we just showed the Gemara. The Gemara tells us that Chizkiyahu did certain things. In a second, give me a second. Chizkiyahu HaMelech, the Ramban does both. He reads the epitome of right here. Go to the Nun Vav Amud Aleph.
Where are we? Pesachim?
Pesachim, 56a. Nun Vav. This is many years ago. A top girl, one of these quality girls, yes, I engaged to. You have it? Go to 56.
Nun Vav.
Nun Vav. It's on top. It's really 111. Listen carefully. Tanu Rabbanan, Shisha Dvarim Asa Chizkiya HaMelech. Chizkiya HaMelech, this Al Shlosha Hodu Lo, Chachamim agree, Al Shlosha Lo Hodu Lo. The first one, this is a biblical, this is straight from the Sefer Melachim. Girer Atzmot Aviv Al Mitah Shel Chavalim Lo Hodu Lo. His father was the biggest Rasha. So after his father died, he made sure that he gets a humiliating type of a funeral. It should be some kapara. Instead of putting him on a fancy casket, he, so to say, he pulled him, okay.
On some kind of a cloth, right? On a cheesecloth thing.
Yeah, but
they drape
to realize again, he's doing it to have a kapara to his father because he loves his father. His father was a Rasha, Merusha. It made sure that children are not learning Torah. He took out all the learning Torah. Menashe is the son of Chizkiyahu. His father was a Chaz. This is his father, not his son.
Yeah.
Okay, second, Kitet, and the rabbis told him, you're right. Kitet Nachash HaNechoshet V'hodu Lo. From the time of Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe Rabbeinu took a snake, a copper. So the idea at that time was to rule the snake to think about Hashem.
Yeah.
As always, this became hundreds of years passed, and none of the kings had the guts to destroy it. They removed it.
No, but it's still the international sign, medical sign.
This is exactly what they took it.
Yes. Amazing.
Now here is the topic that we are going to focus on. Ganaz Sefer Refuot.
That's the one we need back.
Look now, at the Rashi, the book of medicine. Look at the Rashi on the fourth line. The Ganaz Sefer Refuot. You see Rashi at the end of the fourth line. כדכתיב, והטוב בעיניך עשיתי, when Chizkiyahu is praying to Hashem to extend his life, and he mentions his accomplishments, and he mentions his accomplishments, he says to Hashem, look, I made this, made that, ואמרינה בברכות שדנה ספר רפואות, לפי שלא היה ליבם נכנע על כל ים. You know what he said? When people relied on this book, they said, yeah, you have a clear medicine. לא היה ליבם נכנע, they didn't say Hashem, it's you, through the medicine. אלא מתרפאים מיד, which means the book was such
Yeah, if we had that book today, it would be the first thing we pull off the shelf.
Then
Be a
there'd be no
multi-
tefillot. There'd be no more tefillot.
multi-millionaire.
Interesting, he didn't destroy it, he put it into Nizar, meaning there'll be a time that he thinks will be used again.
See, if we have enough time, the Rambam, I think most of us have the Rambam in Pirush HaMishnah, the Rambam strongly disagrees with Rashi. Says, how can you say so? How can you say, you're telling people, I'm taking the book away. You can tell people, rely on Hashem, you can tell people, say, Yiratzon, before Rambam, I think most of you have been, I think most of you should have Pirush HaMishnayot in the back, and I'll tell you where it is.
What is Rashi saying? So different from the Torah.
What? In the minute you'll see how the Rambam interprets the Gemara, the question is, what, according to Rashi, why was he putting it away? Because people, I am going to the best doctor. You are going to Hashem, and you do teshuvah, yes? And Rabbi Steinman, yeah, that many of us went to take pictures of it, yeah? Every time it didn't feel good, they said, don't call the doctor. Give me a few hours to do teshuvah. Then, okay, now I'm ready for the doctor. This is the Rashi, yeah? We didn't see it in the pictures when we took it.
It's not in the picture, Rabbi.
Yeah, I can't say. So, but you like the Rambam cannot say differently than Rashi, just why did he hide it? Remember, according to Rashi, he took the book of medicine and told people you are relying too much on that. Yeah, let's look
Now,
at
does
that.
the person inherently know, like, what he's doing wrong? Like, maybe if somebody gets a cold or somebody gets sick, and they apply it to something, but is it automatic that a person?
By us, we don't have to do something particular. As long as, it's I think it's Erev Yom Kippur, yes.
Improve something?
Yeah. I heard once a grandfather telling me stories, after the standing there, puts his hand and he whispers to him, this is your Ne'ilah, this is now coming away, this is Yom Kippur, you're starting a new. You realize you have a kapara, you have a. You didn't tell her. The question is how you. Let me just read you the language of the Rambam and how the Rambam learns it. Every edition has a different page. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll read it for you. It's really fast. It'll take us too long to. Okay, by you, if you have this brown one, brown, it's a page. Let me read this.
Yeah.
This is what he said. The Rambam learns that the book had a lot of different. They used to use poison of snakes and scorpions as a cure, even today.
Like chemotherapy, toxic.
No, but very.
Yeah.
And many people took it from the book to poison other people.
Oh,
They misused it.
Ah,
This is how he learns. He learns the same. He removed
so
it
dangerous.
because people misused it.
what is misusing?
Not
then the
not
Rambam,
spiritually.
ואולי היה ספר והיה שם רפואה לסם המוות. והיה אומר, if you poisoned by that, do this, yeah? Then people, he says, כאשר השחיתו בני אדם דרכם והיו ממיתים, they used to kill this. הסיר הספרים הוא גנזם. Says the Rambam, why am I writing you so much? What difference does it make? That's what I said. Because I heard that some people say, he doesn't say it, he never saw Rashi. Some people say that there was a book of medicine and Shlomo removed it. Why? Because people rely too much. He says, the Rambam is using a very strong language. How can anyone say that? He says, if someone is hungry, tell them, no, don't eat. Rely on Hashem. This is the normal way of it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is very strong question of the Rambam and Rashi. Teach the people. Listen carefully what the Chazon Ish says. The Chazon Ish says, you saw the Ramban we just read, according to the Ramban, you can be on the level that you're not going to a doctor, Rabbi Steinman, or went to a doctor after he took few hours to internalize, how can I improve? Then I'm ready for the doctor, yes? You can see that before that, Now listen carefully with the Chovot HaLevavot, Sefer Chovot HaLevavot, disagrees strongly with the Ramban. He says we have to do everything normal, but to have a strong belief, not the lip service that we're used to. A strong belief, like Rabbi Bernstein. I have to go to the doctor, but this is what it's a machloket Chovot HaLevavot and the Ramban. Says Rabbi Kamenetsky, of course it's a machloket, but it's not a real machloket. Most people, means 99% of people have to go to work, you have to take medicine, you have to do this, but some people are different. Now, if you learn the Gemara in Sanhedrin, the Gemara said the only time in Jewish history that every man, woman, and children knew Kol HaTorah Kula was in time of Chizkiyahu. The time of Chizkiyahu, every man, woman, and children, you know what it means, men, women, and children? Every man that was a farmer, every man that was a businessman, every woman that says the Chazon Ish, the reason why the Rashi is saying that only Chizkiyahu didn't remove it. Says for my generation, we can follow the Ramban. There's no need to go to medicine.
So it's a whole different side.
No, this is how the Chazon Ish is defending Rashi from the question of the Rambam. The Rambam is asking a very serious question. Says the Chazon Ish, he didn't say don't go to doctors. For my generation, everyone from north to south knows L'chot Shabbat, L'chot Lashon Hara, L'chot Kashrut.
So they have the fact that
They should go to the Navi. They should go to the Navi, like Rambam.
They see the bigger picture.
Either that or if you really doing what you're supposed to do.
I know what I said earlier, the atmosphere. If a person's a good person within a horrible atmosphere, how's that gonna overcome the bad surrounding? Like the time
have the vision that people are gonna go down in that
but obviously it took Chizkiyahu a few years to take the entire country. He said everyone, talking about
From the little, they said, you Gemara, you did it with us. They said from the littlest to they knew a certain Gemara, he told us.
it's a Gemara.
A certain
This
hard
was the
Gemara.
only time in history, says the Chazon Ish, he felt Chizkiyahu. There's no need to. I felt very comfortably before the doctor, operated on my eyes and give me a whisper, covers me and says, say after me. Say, Hashem, please make sure that this is going to be successful. The doctor says, I do it all the time. I feel very comfortable after life. Good surgery.
My sister had a little transplant. I told you the story. Rabbi Dweck gave you kind of some holy things. I asked the operator, I said, could I put it on the operating table? He said, what's that for? The Italian doctor. I said, it's holy things that maybe you have a better outcome. He says, that's interesting. Could I use it for the next patient?
Oh, that's good.
It shows at least he has a belief that it's not all him.
Yeah.
It's unusual for a surgeon.
And wheeled him right into the OR.
It was a big rabbi more about Moshe Stern, he was the rabbi of Derbetzin. He was a big scholar. He had the first edition of one of the latest Hasidic masterpieces. So every so often he used to do exactly what he said. He gave people the Sefer. Anyway, his son became very sick, and he made sure that the book is near his pillow all the time. He writes in his book. In his book. Strangely enough, the night my son died, I went to the room. The book was not there. Now, he's not stupid enough, not little enough to say he died because of that. He said because of mezuzah. And kids are saying, Rabbi, okay, it's a mezuzah, it's not perfect. You have an alarm in your house?
Alarm. ADT, you know.
Along.
Joseph is my man, you don't. Why not? I'm very happy.
I don't have much value in the house.
I have
a simple one.
my wife loves it. I don't like it at all. But we don't have one in Jersey.
Well,
A thief told my brother, he stole his car and he caught the guy. He realizes any car, you can have 5 alarms. Give me 5 minutes, I win the car.
That's long, 5 minutes.
I have an order to your car, regardless of the answer is, some people are very nervous. We We had many years ago, we used to do Fadl Shira here, and mezuzah drive. Every 2 years, the kids used to bring their mezuzot, we hired the to check. One kid says to me, my mother said, they didn't do it. Half a year later, he joined, I'll never forget. Whenever in jail, I met the mother, she said to me, she was the wife of a doctor. Says to me, David was begging me. I'm just checking. No. Says finally, she convinced me, but this is the way the drive was over. We took all the mezuzot off. The day we took the mezuzot off and gave it to Sofer, I came from the wedding, my most expensive jewelry. As I'm climbing up the steps, a guy behind me says, "Listen, I haven't done everything on the steps. Don't see a word. I wouldn't do anything to you." As I told David, don't check anything. I knew Mrs. Zohar. It's what she told me. I mean, again, was she punished because of that? Of course not. But in her mind, $40,000 jewelry 40 years ago. I had my most expensive, fancy wedding. I will not don't continue. Stop, get it off, leave it on the steps, continue walking. A few minutes it was done. Which means that all the alarms that we feel are good for us.
Yeah, it's just a feeling good.
Not to have here. Joseph doesn't have Joseph.
I don't have because
No mezuzot.
I'm very proud of
if false alarm twice, I got fined $4,000 by the fire department.
$4,000.
Wow.
Central alone, full step, they have to
Deal
come.
with it.
Maybe you had a question about the source of rabbi or
Rabbi, once you told us